My all-time World Series continues today. We got Game 2 of the all-time World Series. The Arizona Diamondbacks lead the series 1-0. And if you want to see how that happened, all you have to do is watch the first video of the series, and you will see that the Arizona Diamondbacks won Game 1. That's how this works. You win a game, you get a lead in a series. I think everyone's very familiar with how series work in sports. If you're watching this. If you're not watching this and you don't know how sports work and you're interested in a historical simulation of a baseball game, that's a little odd, but hey, welcome. I'm not here to judge. But here we are, game 2 of the all-time World Series will begin here. Max Lanier is pitching today for the 19, well, I say today, this is taking place on November 7th of 1990, but in my simulation that I am doing today, Max Lanier is pitching and Zach Godley pitches for the Diamondbacks. This is a very big game. The Cardinals look to either gain home field advantage by winning and evening up the series, which would be a massive win for them, or the Cardinals can take a two, or the Diamondbacks can take a 2-0 lead series lead, which would be, I'm not going to say it's going to end the series because we do go back to St. Louis and they're going to have 3 straight there, but it is a massive advantage for the 2017 Diamondbacks to get this series win. All the settings are going to stay the same because we are still in Arizona. We're still going to have the screen filter is off. We're still going to have the camera views the same. All the stuff that I had before is going to stay the same. We're going to look at the lineups. I believe the lineups are pretty much the same as well. I think the only time you're ever going to see them switch is if there is a lefty on the mound for the Diamondbacks. There probably will be a platoon lineup. But other than that, I can't imagine too much is going into lineup creation in this style of tournament, considering it is a computer controlled team. Could be wrong. I'm sure there could be more depth involved in making the lineups and everything more than I am giving credit for, but I'd be surprised. On the other hand, Max Lanier is actually starting as a left-hander for the Cardinals, so I I don't know offhand if this lineup is different. I probably should have paid closer attention to that. I don't believe it is, just looking offhand, but I could be wrong. But this is the lineup, anyways, that Arizona's bringing to the table. It's everyone looks familiar. If anything, there might be a little bit different order for batters here, but I don't know if there is actually, to be truthful. But again, I could be wrong, but that's what we got. So game 2 is underway, and here we go. No, eventually, once it loads. Okay, there we go. So Zach Godley, like I said, Zach Godley on the mound, Luke Hine at the plate, and let's get game 2 underway. 2-2 count decline, and he strikes out. So the game kind of starts the same place where Archie Bradley kind of left off after the last game, when he was striking out Cardinal hitters left and right, and the Diamondbacks got themselves a nice, easy win. Jeff Mathis, or Ray Sanders, I mean, is going to pop out. You're kind of hoping to see maybe if you're into the 43 Cardinals, you were hoping to see maybe some of the momentum that they got in the ninth inning when they looked like they could have rallied a little bit, carry over into this game. But we'll see what happens here in the first inning. This is going to be a home run by Walker Cooper, and that ball is gone. So it's 1-0, and that is actually exactly how last game ended or began. The Cardinals' first 2 batters retired, a home run happened. It was 1-0. And the Cardinals were off to a good start, and then obviously the game kind of turned on its head. So a kind of similar start. Is that a sign of things to come? Is it a sign of good things for the Cardinals? Are the Diamondbacks going to jump all over the Cardinal pitching again? We'll see, I guess. The next hitter Stan Musial did fly out, so the end of the inning has happened. And a leadoff walk to A.J. Pollock. Peralta's going to hit to first. I think that's going to be a double play. Now he's going to beat the return throw. So 1 out on the fielder's choice. JD Martinez at the plate. He'll single to right. So the Diamondbacks are threatening. That's going to be a throw to third. Oh, that is a heck of a throw by Debs Garms. It says it right here. Heck of a throw by Debs Garms. So that's how I know it was a heck of a throw, because I was told it was a heck of a throw. Plus he was gunned down at third. So a big out on the bases. With 1 out, the risk might be worth taking, so not the worst thing in the world, but you kind of, you get the sense that the Diamondbacks might be able to jump over Lanier early, and maybe that'll mess it up. Well, Goldschmidt's going to line up to left and end the inning, so I don't know. It could be a wasted opportunity. We shall see. We're here in the top of the second now. Whitey Kurowski with a 2-2 count he's facing, and he will ground out. Nick Ahmed, who was very busy last game, lots of grounders to Nick Ahmed. Danny Litweiler, 2-2 count again. He swings and misses, strikes him out. Deb Scarms, the guy who just made a nice defensive play last inning. Can he get on base? He does. So with 2 outs, another base runner. Marty Marion is going to ground to second to end the inning. So no further threat there from the Cardinals, despite getting the 2-out base runner on. Walker Cooper, oh, he's the catcher, my bad. Jake Lamb is batting now for the Arizona Diamondbacks as we lead off the second. The bottom of the second. Still 1-0 game. Max Lanier. 2-2 count again. He's going to actually fly out to right. Nice catch by Garms. He's been pretty busy out there in right field. Brandon Drury. He's going to hit one. This one's going to go to the right field too. It is going to be a foul ball. One of the rare times, every once in a while, the balls that go just fly out on fly balls do get played out, even when you have the one pitch mode on. I'm not completely sure of the decision making there. Maybe just gave a little bit of drama on close call home runs is the only thing I can really think of. But here we have a 3-2 count. Drury does end up walking. So Nick Ahmed, who's done a lot in defense in this series, can do something offensively. And he'll hit the third. That is going to be a bad throw to second. They're trying for the double play, but instead it's a poor throw, and it's an overthrow. It actually goes into the outfield per the notes. Now, the animation did not completely match what the description was, and that happens sometimes in this game. The animations aren't the exact replication of what happens, so sometimes you do have to read the notes. I do have them going on really, really fast, so the play-by-play notes don't always show because I'm clicking through so fast trying to get through the game. So, but in this mode, I did pause it for a second so I could see what happened. First and second now with 1 out, a huge error, and this gives the Diamondbacks a chance to tie this ball game up. And Jeff Mathis will not take advantage. In fact, he hits into a double play to end the inning, a big double play. And the Cardinals do not pay for their error. That is a big, big pitch made by Lanier. And now he comes to the plate as a hitter, and he's got a 3-1 count. Can he lead off the inning? And he does. So he becomes a base runner. So not too bad from the pitcher there. Luke Klein with his second at bat of the game, and he bunts into a force out. That's the second time this series this has happened. Ray Sanders, his second at bat, an 0-2 count, he just strikes out. And now Walker Cooper, and he takes a 2-2 count, and he's going to drive it to right field for a single, a big opposite field single. But the guy's going for third, and it's a bad throw. Oh my goodness, he was going for third, which probably was a mistake. But JD Martinez in right field, not a great defender, makes a poor throw that goes into the dugout, or at least goes beyond third base. The runner does advance to second, and a run comes home to score. It's 2-0 Cardinals, and now you got Musial up. You are asking for damage with that error. That is a bad error that could become worse, and does become worse as Musial will rip one to left field, and the run comes home. 2 runs score because of that error. And it could still, now Musial didn't go to second on the throw, but the inning is still going alive, and you have Whitey Kurowski, who's also a dangerous hitter, but he's going to ground out. But 2 runs that the Cardinals probably shouldn't have come across due to bad defense. And these are the types of mistakes that Arizona, who probably is the worst team in the series, cannot afford to make. Zach Godley leads off with a strikeout. A.G. Pollock, his second at bat of the game, he's going to rip a single to right. The Diamondbacks would really like to kind of answer that poor defensive inning, and we'll see. But there's a stolen bag there. A.J. Pollock gets to second, and there's a chance for a run if Peralta can knock him home, and he just grounds to first. So there is still a chance to score. The runner does go to third. You got JD Martinez up, and he's the man who made the big error, so you would like to kind of make up for that mistake. And he does. He lines one up the middle as a single, so a run does come across. So JD Martinez, you could say at least made up for one of the runs that came across. Granted, you could argue he's kind of responsible for two, but he does hit a single to bring one across and make this a 3-1 game and bring Goldschmidt to the plate, who with a 2-2 count does ground into the fielder's choice, but the lead is cut into a little bit, so not the worst inning for the Diamondbacks. Litweiler comes up now in his second at bat, and he flies to left. Garms comes up with 2 strikes, and he strikes out. So Godley's getting the strikeouts a little bit. He's got 4 so far. Marty Marion will fly to center to end the inning. So the Cardinals finally do not really do too much that inning. Jake Lamb now is up with a 2-2 count. He hits a high fly ball to right field that will be caught. Garm's really, really busy out there. Drury will strike out on a 0-2 count, so didn't do too much that at bat. Ahmed with a 2-2 count. He strikes out as well. Lanier's kind of settling in a little bit. And remember, actually, I was going to say his 1 run was unearned, but no, that's not the case. Godley with 2 strikes. Lanier, the pitcher, hits a high fly ball to right that is caught. Klein is up his 3rd at bat of the game. He flies to center and caught. Ray Sanders, his 3rd at bat of the game himself. He hits one up the middle and is out. So, actually, no, it's an infield single. Now you got Walker Cooper, who is 2 for 2 with a runner on first. He has an RBI as well. This is a home run. So this is a dangerous situation. An infield hit could turn into damage, but it will not, as there's a ground ball to third, a throw across the diamond to end the inning. So still 3-1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Jeff Mathis is up, 0-2 count. Swinging him at strike 3. Max Lanier is pitching really well so far. Zach Godley, 0-2 count, strike 3. AJ Pollock, 1-2 count. He grounds to short. Another inning over, and we go to the 6th. Stan Musial, who is today 1 for 2 himself with an RBI, 3-0 count, is going to draw the leadoff walk. Karowski is yet to get on base, 2-2 count. And now he has, as he hits a single that gets through the left-hand side, first and second, nobody out. It actually was really, really close to being caught, but instead it hit the fielder's glove and bounces in the outfield. So first and second, nobody out. Danny Whitlower up. A lot of situations would call for a bunt here, especially in this era of baseball. But Litweiler's a pretty good hitter. He's got 65 power, 50 contact, so he could do some damage. With the 2-2 count, is going to actually strike out. Maybe the thinking is they should have actually done the bunt there. We'll see if they can do anything with this situation. Garms is up. He would have been a perfect bunt candidate. And with 2-2 strikes, he is going to hit one to the left side. It is an out that's made, but it kind of was a bunt because the runners are able to advance. So second and third, Marty Marion is up. A 60 contact hitter with little power, but this is a contact situation. You just need to contact the ball into the outfield so some runs can score. Instead, it's an intentional walk so they can face the pitcher, Lanier. But the way Lanier is playing today, he's actually got to be pretty confident, even in his plate ability. This is not a safe situation. But they do get the out to end the inning, so it does become a smart decision to intentionally walk the 8-hitter to get to the pitcher. Keeps the game at 3-1, no further damage done, even though the Cardinals did threaten. Lanier pitching great today. He's got 2 walks, 5 strikeouts in 5 innings of play against a Diamondbacks lineup that absolutely whipped the Cardinals yesterday. So really great pitching so far for Lanier. Peralta is going to lead off with an out, and that's a big thing. Or it's going to be a pop-up to short, but that's a big thing right now. And a 3-1 ball game. This game's far from over, but you want to get that first out as often as possible, not have to deal with some high intensity innings and have some high intensity pitches, because as I've shown you, like in the last video, the Cardinals bullpen isn't their strong suit by any means. Because again, they're coming from a time period when the bullpen was just not the focus when it came to team building. And you have to also factor in that a lot of these players were at war, so the depth just wasn't there. There were people in the majors who shouldn't even have been in the majors, and I'm sure that led to some of the weakness in the bullpen and the back end of the pitching staff because they had to fill those spots with somebody. And even though this is a great team, they're still at some point going to be throwing guys who are not major league caliber in there. And that's going to cause problems in a tournament like this where the 2017 teams do not have that problem. But granted, they have more teams to fill. So there's more of an opportunity for weaker players to play. Um, Now, granted, there's also no color barrier, and this is a league that has been way more open to like diverse cultures and other countries playing in the league, so they have more of a talent pool to choose from too. But regardless, completely different obstacles being dealt with. Goldschmidt takes a huge strikeout where a home run could have tied the game, as we do have a runner on first base. Lamb could also produce that home run. Instead, he walks. So first and second, this is a very dangerous situation where this game could completely flip on its head if Drury comes through. And Drury does not come through as he flies to left and it's caught. So a big out there. We go on to the seventh. In the seventh, Luke Klein is going to fly the center, and we're going to have a catch. Sanders, his fourth at bat, is going to actually hit a single to left field. I think the animation you just saw is what happens when a defender's not great. The text did kind of call Lamb out, talking about how he's not a great defender. And if you look at his stats, he is only a 45 defense. So his defense at third base is not his strong suit. And according to the notes in the game, that play would have been made by a better defensive third baseman. So that play, I'm not going to say it's on Jake Lamb because you play him where you can play him when it comes to a guy who has potential to hit 30 home runs. But there are plays that are going to go against you because of that decision to choose offense over defense. And according to the game and that animation, that was definitely one of them. Also, Zach Godley's pitch count is getting high. And that's one of the things about these 2017 pitchers now. While the Arizona bullpen is good, this still isn't an era designed to go deep, deep, deep into games. 60 stamina, not bad. But as you can see, he's starting to see the fatigue at 103 pitches. I don't think that's a thing you associate with pitchers from. I mean, yes, pitchers would be tired at 103 pitches, but you're not thinking they're automatically coming out of the game soon. Godley is going to have to come out of this game soon. This might be his last innings to pitch. And while the Diamondbacks bullpen is good, do you use your top arms to just keep you into a game? That's a decision that they have to make. Cooper could make the decision a little easier if he gets a hold of one. And on a 1-1 count, he actually hits into a double play. So still a 3-1 game, but a big out by a Godley, which might be able to keep him in for one more inning. But I do think if the Diamondbacks either tie or take the lead, that will definitely change. I think they'll bring in the bullpen for sure. So we'll see what they do this inning. Ahmed hits one to center and caught. Mathis is hitless this game as well, as Lanier continues to pitch well. But he lines one into in the right field, and now the tying runs at the plate, and you have now, and that was actually not a good hit ball. That was kind of a weak ball that just got through. I kind of like this description. That one was a Chihuahua with a broken leg, and it still got through. I don't actually read these descriptions, so this is kind of the first time I've taken the time to do it. So that is kind of amusing. But yeah, kind of fun there. But regardless, Chris Iannetta does pinch hit, so Godley's done for the day. And you kind of thought once that hit happened, that kind of made the decision for Arizona, which actually made the decision easier because you gotta hit good offense. Now you can't waste outs, and you got Chris Iannetta who could tie the game with one swing of the bat, but with a 1-2 count, he doesn't even make contact. 2 outs. A.J. Pollock, dangerous hitter, in a pretty dangerous situation, will hit one to the pitcher, and that's actually going to be an out. So they get out of it, and we go to the 8th, where we have now David Hernandez in the pitch. Stan Musial greets him with a grounder to second. Kurowski, 1 for 3, pops up. So Hernandez has pitched well so far against a pretty tough part of the lineup, and Litweiler strikes out to end the inning. So nice job pitching for Hernandez. Will they continue? They're going to go to the bullpen with Harry Gumbert. I think that's a potential risk. Lanier was pitching great. This bullpen isn't great. Although, while Gumbert's stats are 2.5, his movement and control aren't terrible. I just don't know if the stuff aspect, the stuff rating, is going to be a downfall. These are his stats in this series. No, these are his stats in the tournament so far. So he's pitched really, really well. Probably above his rating. So if you're going to go to the bullpen, this is probably your guy. And we'll see how he does, because the Cardinals really need to get this win. 2-2 count to Peralta, and that is going to be lined in the center. JD Martinez at the plate. He singles to center, and the decision to go to the pen, actually he's going to, that is, well, let's see what happens here. There is a run down, but oh my goodness, he still gets to third. Actually, he goes back to second. No, he gets to third. It's first and third. So despite the throw to third and what looked like a mistake, the Diamondbacks get away with it. And this is why I question going to the bullpen, because this bullpen just isn't very strong. And now you got first and third with nobody out in a 2-run game, and there's no really to turn. Gumbert was kind of your guy who's pitched well in this tournament, and now he has to get out of this himself, and he's got Paul Goldschmidt, the future Cardinal, on the mound. The future member of your franchise, but not for about 70 years, 70 plus years. 3-2 count, and he turns on one deep to left, but not deep enough to get out of the park, but it is deep enough to score. It is a big out. It does get that guy off of third base, but the run does score. You still have a run on first. Jake Lamb can actually give the team the lead. We're in the bottom of the 8th. That was a big out, but I wouldn't say you're out of the woods by any means. Jake Lamb pops up. That'll help. If they can get one more out, they could get themselves this ball game. This inning might be the game. I mean, you had first and third, nobody out. To only get one run might actually be a big killer. Drury's trying to prevent that. With one ball, no strike, he won't. He's going to pop up as well, and the Cardinals escape with limited damage. But it is a 3-2 game. You would like to get some insurance, and this game is far from over. Archie Bradley's going to come in, the Diamondbacks closer. 20.2 innings. He's only allowed one earned run and .44 ERAs. He has been lights out in this tournament. A huge opportunity for this to happen, and I'm sorry, this window got stuck. Okay, there you go, it's gone. The Cardinals really need the insurance, in my opinion. I don't know who they're going to have close this game, and whoever it is, I don't necessarily think he's not your traditional closer, because that's just not a role that existed back then. But with a fly out to center, there's one away. And now Marion with 2 strikes, he's gone. Harry Walker is actually going to pinch hit now for this team. Harry Walker needs to get himself on base so the Cardinals can have a chance at scoring. If he doesn't do that, you're going to have to hope that you can hold a 3-2 lead with a roll that I think absolutely favors the Diamondbacks. So let's see, 3-1 count. Walker can't take advantage. He hits one to the pitcher, and that will end the inning. So let's see what the Cardinals do in the 9th. They're going to bring in Harry Gumbert is still on the mound. He's got to get himself the 2-out save in this series. And here's the thing, even if he gets through, he's probably your most effective bullpen arm. And I'm sure he'll be done, although there is an off day between the 2 games as we go to the travel day involves going to 1943 St. Louis. Now, I don't know the logistics of how that works, I don't know if you hop into a time machine and go to 1943. I don't know if there's some sort of breaking of the laws of physics. I try not to overthink that part. When you really, really dig in deep, it's kind of weird. But yeah, whatever. Regardless, there's a day in between these two games. Nick Ahmed is at the plate. Ken O'Day is actually into catch now for the Cardinals, so that is a change. And actually, that is a change in the lineup because he started the last game and now he's pitching this game. So that is a change in the lineup. I did not notice. Maybe I'll try to be better at catching differences in lineups, but it isn't really an easy thing to do because I'm not writing this down, which maybe I should. I don't know. I guess I do have an entire first video I could have rewatched just for the lineups, but I didn't do that. And now at the end of game two, but I'm still learning how to do this as I go. But regardless, Nick Ahmed at the plate, 3-2 count. This is a huge pitch, and that is a big fly out to center, and Musial's going to make a great catch. Um, well, at least the animation implied it was a great catch. The writing doesn't really say. So, but either way, it was a big out. It looked like an opportunity there. Daniel Descalso now pinch hitting for the Diamondbacks. He needs to get on base, otherwise we have 2 on, 2 out, and all of a sudden the situation we nobody on with 2 out, and the situation gets a little easier for Harry Gumbert, but he does have to do a full count, and he will get Descalso to fly to left. Another huge out, and now there's 2 out with nobody on, and one more out ties the series. Chris Owings, who is actually in at second base, I believe he played last inning because I did see him in the lineup already. So he is in at second base. I think they made a double switch when they made changes to the pitcher when Bradley came in. But here we go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gumbert will strike him out, and we are tied in this series. A great 2-1 ball game. A great bullpen performance by Harry Gumbert, who I certainly was skeptical that could go both innings against this Arizona lineup that's been very, very good. But he certainly did. A 3-2 performance in a low scoring game, not a lot of action. 7 hits for the Diamondbacks, 6 hits for the Cardinals. One error, one very costly error for the Diamondbacks that actually led to 2 runs, and that was the difference in the game. So that error was very, very costly. You cannot make errors in games like this, and if you do, you're usually going to pay. And so with that, the Diamondbacks have lost their home field advantage, and the Cardinals are going to go back to their era, their stadium, their home pace. Well, I would say their era. They're going back to their year, but their era is still going to be playing like 1990 because that's confusing. But either way, we go back to Arizona, or we go back to St. Louis with a tied series, and we'll see where this thing goes. We'll definitely see where this thing goes. Just a quick look at the end here. If you really want to look at the box scores, I'm going to scroll down and back up. You can pause the video, do whatever you want to do if you really, really need to know that information. I highly doubt anyone will. And one other thing that I did just to kind of note in these games is I do like how they put the game chart in. Nothing too drastic in this game. I guess there was a little bit of dip when the Cardinals got, or when the Arizona had that first and third nobody out situation, but it didn't lead to anything. I should say once JD Martinez, yeah, once he singled, yeah, I think that was when it was first and third nobody out. So that was the closest the Arizona came to winning this game once the lead kind of got taken. But regardless, a good game. We are here, or we are ending this game here. I was sorry, I was distracted by the fact that I like the little note here that Stan Musial, who won the most valuable award in 1948. Guys, we're in 1943, although we're also in 1990. So kind of confusing the way time probably works in these uniforms, but whatever. I'll leave you with that. We have a 1-1 series tie. We'll be back for the next game, as it looks like Taijuan Walker pitches for the Diamondbacks against Harry Breachin, which is a huge advantage for the Cardinals. If they win that game, they'll be in a pretty good spot because the starting pitching the rest of the way is pretty good. So I would say this is the game. This is the game right here. St. Louis has to win. Has to win this game. Otherwise, you're down 1-2, and then all these pitching matchups until possible Game 7 with the same two starters, and who knows what will happen there, are much closer. So big game. This feels like a must-win for the Cardinals. We'll see if it happens. Thank you very much. Bye.